Hey, welcome in everybody. Welcome. Today is all you need to know about Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. So we were fortunate enough to do closed beta, and if you've been watching the videos, you saw that I cut some VODs for the story portion of the segment so you can see how that works. But today we'll be going over various things such as pulls, tickets, types of tickets, things in the shop, all sorts of a matter of things of everything you need to know about Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Let's go ahead and hop in from the main menu. As things are loading, I have definitely enjoyed my time. This is not a sponsored Square Enix video. I know that some of ours are sponsored. This, I just happened to get into closed beta because I love FF7 so much. Alrighty, here we go. So as you can see, this is the main menu. We have what are called wallpapers underneath the profile section here. If you go underneath the menu and you hit wallpaper, you can change different scenes to show on your main menu. But that's besides the point, that's just a glamour effect. What we care about are a number of things that we're going to go over in the screen. So, first things first, underneath the story content, currently available in the closed beta and what you'll see in the VODs are different stories that are of Final Fantasy VII compilation. Currently it's Final Fantasy VII, Crisis Core, and the First Soldier, which is currently locked, which you shall be unlocking shortly later on in this video. If we go into the growth section, we have both the characters and summons that are being looked at. If we go into Enhance, we have weapons, materia, and synthesis. Currently, the only thing that is unlocked is weapons. If we go into weapons, you will see various levels of weapons. We have it sorted by rarity. So on the top, you will see 5-star weapons, and then it goes down to 4-star and 3-star and so forth. Each weapon does have an ability on them. So if you look at for example, the Cloud's Buster Sword, you will see a R ability, which is basically stats, what stats it enhances, as well as the C ability, which is the ability that is used in battle. In this case, it's a Braver. You also have support materia as well that is later going to be unlocked. So these are just overall different weapons and abilities. You can see on the left side we have Cloud's sword at level 20 as stats, and then underneath you can see the abilities, which also list from C, R, and S ability types. Inside the party member menu, you have multiplayer. Yes, there will be multiplayer in this game coming out later. Also, we have solo party, which is essentially what you would use for any of the solo content or the story content. If we go into solo party, it's going to load up a HUD. Now this HUD seems really complex at first, but essentially you have different parties. On the top left, you can see the party that you're on along with the power level. And then underneath each equipment screen, you can do swap mode, which allows you to swap characters around. That way you can move them and change your format and your layout and everything. And as far as party members go, your middle person is your main slot. So that is like the person you immediately start playing as soon as you enter battle. So the leader is always in center. After that, you can hit adjust mode, which will turn back to adjustments, where you can edit the members. If you click on toggle, it will toggle to basic things on the menu, like what element materia you have equipped, the limit breaks you have equipped, the type of your abilities, which we'll break down further once you go in. It also gives you various attributes as well as you toggle through, and then of course your main menu. Now once you go into a character, in this case we will use Aerith, I will click and hold. If I click and hold, I can see all her stats along with her limit break on the bottom right corner, as well as the wonderful, amazing artwork that is available for each character. If we hit abilities, you can also see the limit breaks. So we would eventually have Seal Evil, and we have Healing Wind. If you click on Healing Wind, it will give you the information and breakdown of it. The range, allies, the duration, the potency, all of that is broken down in that limit break. As we back out, if you click once and don't hold, it will take you to Aerith's character menu. On the left side, you can click on stats. It will break down her power level as well as her HP attack, magic, defense, and heal. Underneath the abilities tab, these abilities that are under here are actually in accordance to what you have equipped. So, in this case, we will click on Aerith's staff here. And if you see, as I click on weapons on the left side, based off the weapon I equip, different abilities will change out. So if you look on the top left there, Blazara Burst, Tough Mana Ward, Runera Smash A-type, Thundara Burst, Cure Burst, Tempest Force, Koikara Burst, and Tempest Force is what I currently have equipped on. Each of these weapons also breaks down. If you hold them, they have their abilities as I mentioned before, and the support material, yes. But you can also hit Enhance and go in here and you can raise the level. You can uncap it by using materials to make it go higher as far as the grade of the weapon. Uncapping level is different. So if you look at it, uncapping level just raises the basic stats. If you want to change the rarity, there is a tab on the top right that is rarity, which you can upgrade or overboost in this case. You do need to overboost, I would call them tickets, but essentially they're items that allow you to overboost, and you have to have specific ones to overboost certain weapon types, so to say. So this is used to increase the rarity of striking staff, as an example. So we're going to, of course, level. This is an item that's needed to break the cap, low-grade steel. And so we're going to head back out. And so you have an idea of essentially how that is working. This is not as complicated as it seems, though the right side of the hub and your main equipment does seem a little complex. What we're looking at is on the far right slide, we're looking at materia slots. So if you look here, I have fire, which we could level. I have blizzard, and I have thunder from top to bottom. If you click once on there, you're going to see a list of all sorts of materia that you can combine, sort, however, by type, by rarity, as you level your materia. So that's all set for what you can cast on the right side. If you're looking more at the equipment, as we showed you the abilities that change the equipment, there are also some cool things which are cosmetic you may have seen in trailers. If you click on the outfit, you can actually change battle stats, and then you can also go in as well and you can actually edit their skins, the appearance of the character. If you drag open, you can actually zoom in on the characters as well. So if we go back to the menu here and we click on Aerith, if you want a better view of the model, you can just go ahead and stretch forward and you pull down and you can see just how wonderful the work on the models is. The physics are there for the hair, everything I'd mentioned before. Super detailed and nice. Down to the shoes. Look at the shoes. Them mage boots. But, and then on the right side, you'll see of the glamour part, you're going to see limit breaks. And then on the further right, which is currently locked right here, is summons. There are things that unlock as you clear content, so just be aware everything is not going to be fully available. Now, as we back out, we've broken down how to do that. If you want to change characters in your party, you can hit right or left to swap parties if you have multiple parties set up. And you can switch through your various members. You can also click here and you can select from this character screen with a wonderful artwork, and you just select one and then you just go and you set up your party. Alternatively, if you do want to swap a character, all you do is you click on the character again, but on the bottom left it's going to say characters, and then here. Now when you click a character, it's going to de-equip everything, so if you're really particular about your build so you don't have to re-equip everything, you want to do the swap mode so you can change the position. Don't do the other mode, because if you do, then that's going to just basically unequip and you're going to have to rebuild your character. So, heading back to the main menu, there is something very, very important to understand in this menu. On the shop menu, which is in here, you're going to see these blue and red crystals in the shop menu. See, the price for the Weapon Enhanced Special Pack is 500. It shows both red and blue crystals. Essentially what that means is blue crystals are the in-game currency that you're going to be spending on. And anything like, free to play, if you're free to play, you don't want to spend money. The red crystals are going to be currency that you spend actual money on. So do be aware that you can either pay with the free or, with your money when it shows red and blue crystals. There is a daily shop that is open. There are items that are worth purchasing with Gil as well. I have purchased them out. But if you look here, there is a special once a day guaranteed draw ticket. We are going to go over the draw ticket types right now. So when you go down, Also, it has the regular refill, by the way. So you have a free refill. I could hit refill just to show you. See, now it's a red 13 ticket. It's changed from Glenn. And then you have the different items in here as well. So here's the guild items. I just want to show you really briefly. You can go in here, purchase your guild items. Just like you would any other shop, right? And then, you know, all your other items in here. So it's also broken and separated by guild. There are also exchange shops. We aren't going to go too much into the exchange shops right now because we don't know how those are going to be specifically working on banners yet, based off of the content that is currently out now. But there will be obviously exchanges, standard things like that. So, draw. So underneath the draw, we have a special banner, which is probably going to be your introductory pool. I did my introductory pool already, so it's blocked out. This is your main banner here, which has Murasame as well as Micro Laser for, you know, attacks for both Cloud and Barret. What's interesting about this is if you click on the top left, there's a stamp sheet. Essentially, as you get stamps on the 6th slot, and the 12th slot, you can select between two options. When you click on here, you can select what you prefer. You can either do Micro Laser or Murasame. And then you can go ahead and if you have something of the same rarity, you can upgrade it, etc. So for me, I already have Murasame, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Barret's 5-star weapon so that when I get my next stamp, I can get his weapon. Since I already have Murasame and I've already got it earlier in a pool and was fortunate, I don't need another Murasame unless you prefer to, you know, build Cloud specifically. Then you can do that as well. That's perfectly fine. The reason why it's important is because there are, in story mode, extra bonuses for using character-specific requirements. So in other words, if there's a story mode happening and there's a story where it requires Aerith and Cloud to fight a boss, as an example, if you use Aerith and Cloud, you get a bonus or a return back for blue crystals using them versus using Free Party. Free Party is essentially you can use whoever you want in this scenario, but that does not give you a return. And then if you reach all the way to slot 12 on the very end, you get Cloud's Murasame outfit. Also, if you look on the bottom left, there is a selectable grid. What's really cool about these banners, and what I really appreciate about these banners, is if you are specifically wanting weapons, on the top you see that they are selectable. You are able to go in and select from each individual character which weapons you want. And they have the likelihood of appearing more when you do a pull. So that's really, really, really cool. If you hold onto one of them, you can of course see the abilities. You can see the support materia as well, and the base stats, and you can just go through and you can actually hit the bottom left tab and it'll show you at level 90 what that is as well. So you can check out what you want, how that's going to affect you, what you want more often to appear. So if you want just specifically one specific character, you can actually replace them all with Aerith weapons, all with Cloud weapons, all with Tifa weapons. So if you have a preference on who you'd like to build, the game allows you to have a higher rate or likelihood that you will pull those weapons by going in and setting them on this banner, which is a really, really awesome thing to do. There is a secondary banner as well for Battle New Gear. You can go in here and there is a selection for these as well. This is a second featured banner, but this is for First Soldier. So for those of you who remember First Soldier playing that multiplayer game, it is for these characters. Now, last but not least, and certainly the most important, you need to understand the type of ticket draws. So that earlier ticket that I showed you in the store where it was Glenn and Nanaki or Red 13, when you buy that ticket, that is a single ticket for a single pull. So if you look here, guaranteed draw, I have one ticket, or I can save up for 10 tickets to pull potentially a 5-star weapon. There's also your standard gacha tickets, which you will find in chests throughout the game, or the Criterion dungeons, or regular dungeons. All these different types of dungeons or scenarios, you can find tickets. This is your regular pull. This is Cloud's pull ticket, with the potential of pulling one of these weapons as well. And I have Zack tickets, which is also the same. Zack, you can also pull these weapons as well, individually or pull multiple. And then you can save up to 10. Or you can go in daily, and if you want to spend and buy tickets, you need to go in and buy the specific tickets for that specific character. And this is why that's important. If you go in here into the shop, right? We've just updated daily. This is Red 13's ticket, correct? If I buy Red 13's ticket, to show you here, it is 200, either blue in-game currency, or you can purchase currency, which is the red crystals. I purchased this ticket. I only get this one ticket for the day, and that ticket is gone unless I do, you know, refills on the top right and refresh. If I close here now, you will now see that if we refresh the ticket section, that one individual ticket, let me go back and collect it. Shot daily. Will show underneath the ticket section here. So now that I've refreshed it and gone back, you now see that Red 13's ticket that I purchased is now here. Why this matters is that if you specifically are also going after another character, aside from going into the edit selectable to up the rates here, right, by selecting your weapons, you can also go under the tickets, and if you see the character that you like in the shop daily, you can buy those tickets specifically to save up and pull on that specific banner. So if you want organics, or maybe you want a different weapon, you can specifically buy those tickets instead of just spending currency. So it's actually really cool, because essentially what it does is it allows you to bank instead of using the currency to pull directly, bank on specific characters. So you can buy Cloud tickets, Red 13 tickets, Zack tickets, so you can stock up on those types of tickets for those characters that are your favorites, versus pulling on this ticket with the pool of higher rate weapons. So if I did all of Cloud here, right, and all I did was all of Cloud, it ups the rate for that. However, you still have the possibility of getting anything else that may or may not be on that banner that is outside of that pool of your selectable. So if you want to make sure you only get Cloud, right, you want to buy those tickets and you want to save them here and do draw 10s where you only get specifically Cloud weapons. That's, you know, sort of a choice if you want to do the featured banner or you want to save up tickets, either or. The benefit of pulling on the featured banners, though, is that you are getting the stamps, which go towards the exclusive banner gear, whether it's appearance or weapons, etc., right? So very, very important that you understand that. Also, on that same note, if you want to try it on, you hit try on the banner. And here we can zoom in on Cloud. You can see what Cloud looks like in the attire, in this case, or any other character. And you can decide, you know, pinching, zooming in, zooming out, tilt, rotate, etc. So you can decide if this is actually what you would like to go after. We already have, like I said, the Murasame. You can hide the UI and get, you know, a good look at how cool the samurai outfit is. There are also tells when you're pulling. When you're pulling, which we're about to do a pull now, you will see Cloud take several actions. There's a giant iron giant, or essentially, I guess you call him an iron giant. He looks like an iron giant. He's one of the Crisis Core creatures. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact name. But when you pull, Cloud takes several actions. If he blocks the sword, and he clim hazards, and he gets lucky triple, or it's like 7, 7, 7, 7, it's all 7s, and it's rainbow colored, then you've pulled multiple gold or highest pool items in your pool. If Cloud deflects it and he bravers, then it's a potential of getting, you know, the main 1 gold. If he dodges and he does braver and he doesn't crit, then it's also a tell. So I will do a pull now just so you can see what Cloud does. Do try it. Each one does give you a hint of what you're pulling, but we're gonna pull on the featured banner, and the first thing you'll see is the chocobo will run across the sign, and they will pull from 1 to 3 stamps, and they will stamp your card first. And what you're hoping for is that the RNG gives you 3 stamps, because you can complete your card faster. So we are using 3,000 of our blue in-game currency to pull. Here comes Chocobo. He has given us a single stamp. That single stamp will now give us the Barrett weapon, which I had requested. Since we already have Murasame. Here comes the pull animation. Super cool, by the way. The Wall Market Arena. Here comes the Iron Giant. We are hoping that Cloud deflects the sword and does not dodge. Oh, he dodged. So that's not the greatest result. He's gonna Clim Hazard, though, instead of Braver. No, he's Bravering. So he Bravered, so this is just a basic pull. As you can see, it's not... the animations do give away information in regards to what's coming out. Oh, we actually got 1 gold. Hey, lucky us. It's the Barret. That's right, because it's guaranteed. So the Barret on the top left that is gold is the stamp that we got, essentially. So we got nothing outside of the stamp. These are all 3-star. I have not seen anything upgrade from from one of these animations yet. So I don't know if they're set or if they can like all of a sudden burst to have a crit rate or anything. But currently I have not seen one do that. Here's the purple, which is our 4-star. It says max rate for Barret. Hard edge. Leather collar. This will be the gold, or the highest one from the stamp that we got. We got it guaranteed on this pool because we hit the stamp. That's the only reason why we got anything this time. Based off of the animations Cloud did, there's no indication that we would get anything else. And so now Barret has micro laser, and all the 5-stars have special animations to them. So you will see a summary here. Since I got the same rarity, which you saw below of the one from the bottom left, it upgraded rarity because I had a duplicate already. So if you have the same 3-star, 4-star, depending on what happens, you can either pre-convert them with the auto setting, or they auto upgrade from 3-star to the 4-star if you have whichever is the higher rarity. So as you can see, if we go back into battle gear, on the top left, you see that the stamp is clicked in on slot 6, and that's what we got from Barret. Great. So next, once you hit player level 7, Chocobos unlock. Chocobos are really, really cool. We're going to go in and take a look at the Chocobo farm. And Aerith is our main character, so she's coming in to check in on our birds here. Welcome to our Chocobo farm. Here, you can spend time with Chocobos, go on expeditions together. To celebrate your first visit, I'm gonna give you one of your own. Yeah, first type of Chocobo. They like you. Play nice, okay? If you want to know more about expeditions, you should talk to my grandpa Bill over there by the sign, which is really cool that Bill's there. If you want to check on your Chocobos, go and see my brother Billy. You'll find him by the stables. This is also the first time we have actually seen, outside of Final Fantasy Remake, those members of the Chocobo farm. Take good care of them and have fun on your adventures. What is really awesome is, as you've seen before, you can freely move around the stables as your character of choice. So if you want to do Tifa, Red 13, anybody you want, in this case mine is Aerith, you can walk around as them. And you hit action, you can talk to the Chocobo. You can head back here. In this chest here, if you open, high grade titanium used for weapons. And what's really cool is you can just you can run around and talk to people and do stuff. Welcome to the Chocobo Medal Exchange. Here you can trade Chocobo medals for your own Chocobos. Remember, you can always get more medals from Chocobo Expeditions. So in this case, you can buy different Chocobos, female, plus female, HH, so it's got different ones. I assume F, but I might be wrong on the types. I need to read. Oh, rank. They're ranks, not gender this time. Okay, so the rank of Chocobo. My brother gets happy when I collect lots of medals. That's why I want to get my hands on as many as I can. Welcome to our Chocobo farm. We take pride in raising our Chocobos, right? If you have any questions, I'm your man. Chocobo Expeditions. Through Chocobo Expeditions, you will discover items after a set amount of time. The time and items vary with each Chocobo abilities. Characters set on an expedition will earn XP. There are different types of expedition areas. Only Chocobo can traverse respective areas that can be dispatched. Tap and hold to view their details. You want to change here. You want to select the Chocobo. You can select the mission as well. If you have more areas, obviously you can select more areas as well and get different types of tokens. The Midgar 2 is actually locked. See on the bottom left here, or well, mid left as well. So I'm going to select the first one. We'll just select Micro Reactor 1. We can click on our Chocobo. And see our lovely chocobo here with their traits. Heal rate up, rare drop up, chocobo medal rate, experience, item collection, and max items. So chocobos also have their own stats as well, so be aware that you can send out chocobos for the appropriate job of what you want and the rate at which you want to increase your chances of getting. Oh, and if you look, the gender is also under traits, by the way, on the top right, above the chocobo paw. So we'll select this chocobo. Hold up. And we gotta send somebody with them. Okay, so we'll send Red with the chocobo. Oh, look, and you can see the animation here with the different characters. See, here's Cloud. I'm not interested, chocobo. Kue. Tifa giving a good stretch. We've got Aerith here. That's Zach. Good old Glenn. Matt. And Lucia. And it's super cool to see their models. But for this case, we're gonna go ahead and send our first expedition with Red. Trusty Red. Chocobo and Red to the Mako reactor. So they're on their way. You can add a slot as well. This is also spent with currency or blue crystals. You can expand for like 500. It opens up the slot, and then you can send more chocobos. But you need more chocobos anyway, so we're not going to expand. There's a collect all in the bottom right, and we're just going to go ahead and exit out. Now that we've sent our chocobo on the expedition, there are shortcuts on the left side, as you can see, of the HUD. But for immersion, we're going to go ahead and walk on over to Billy. If you're in the market for chocobo, my sister can help you out as long as you have the medals. Our prices are the best around because they're the only farm around. You can retire the chocobo as well, but that is a stable. You can have up to 30 chocobos. Our chocobos are strong, fast, and reasonably priced. You won't be disappointed. And once we are done with the chocobos, we can go ahead and head on out. And that is your chocobo exploration once you hit player level 7. It may vary depending on what the final level is they decide to put out. So, yes. And we will be notified once our chocobo comes back. We go into shop and we go into daily. And you can check that daily as well. You can also look at materials. These are the items you've acquired from the shop. It'll notify you here in the materials what you've acquired, what it is as well. And if you go under here, you can also see there's the red 13 ticket that we got. Now that we have an enhanced for weapon, we can uncap a weapon. Now that we have the titanium, I am going to do Aerith's weapon. Actually, you know what? I wonder if we even have a weapon that is able to do that. Because I think most of these are going to be... Oh, it's a 4? Is it a 4-star? It might be a 4-star. Oh, no, it's a weapon that we don't even have yet. It's for something later on. Okay. So, we have solo content. Solo content right now currently open is enhancement quests. These are EXP, materials for synthesis, materials to enhance weapons. I've already grinded it out quite a bit. As you can see, there are different levels and there is different costs, and according to the level and the power, the recommended power level, as you can see right here, this is 42,000 as example, where I'm clicking. Then there's these rewards for clear, etc. for first time. If you look above in the center, this is stamina recovery. You can use paid or non-paid crystals. You can also use these which drop, which are stamina tonics. You have small, medium, and large of tonics that can restore stamina, or you can let it fill over time. In this case, until full, we have 6 hours and 42 minutes. So definitely a way that you can, allow that to manually fill. We also have here the party stamina boosts, which you can fill as well, which should be familiar to those who are familiar with Disney Opera Omnia and others. Also, we have what are called criterion dungeons. After you've gone through the story, you may go into these dungeons, and if you click in, you have several objectives that you have to choose that are missions. Underneath these missions, under the tab here, you can see I had to clear with all my characters alive, opening all the rare chests, and you have to defeat a hidden cactuar within the dungeon. So in a dungeon, you can freely move around. Let's go in and I will show you. You can pull your own party as well. You can take whoever you prefer. In this case, I'm taking my main party, which is Cloud, Zack, and Aerith, because those are the best pulls I had on my gacha. The dungeon will load up in these Criterion dungeons, which is basically replaying. You go around here, and you can freely move throughout a dungeon. When you fight, Criterion dungeons reduce your max HP. So in this case, every time you fight, your max HP will be depleted, and then you have to use special supplements in order to restore that percentage. It's sort of like Final Fantasy XIV if you're familiar, and there is reduction on your max HP. Sort of same sort of idea. So you just go in and explore. So we'll retire from that. There are 2 more additional things I want to go over before we are done. Aside from Criterion dungeons, eventually there's going to be summon quests, seal towers, etc., etc. And we are going to go through one more thing. There will be a multiplayer content. You will be able to create lobbies, invite people, enter the rooms back and forth, so very, very important. And then you have story content. This is the main appeal for those who have not played Final Fantasy VII specifically. This goes through the entirety of the compilation. So if you have any questions or concerns in regards to story, or you want to recap before Rebirth, currently I have cleared all of 7, so it says suspended, but if I hit select, you can, exit out of whatever mission you're in. You can abandon it, go in, etc. You can go in and load. It'll bring up a map, and it breaks it down by section. Now, if you look at the icons on the very, very first bottom right corner, you will see something very important right above my head. There are 3 icons above the 5,000 power level. These icons represent story, which is a book, cross, which is a battle, and then a mountain, which is a dungeon. So some of these locations have free roaming dungeons. In this case, you're going to experience story, a battle, and dungeons. While others, which is the slot above me, which I'm now clicking here in this area, only have story and battle. There is no dungeon. It's just an encounter. Same thing for these as you go up. In this case, Reno, obviously it would be story and a boss battle. And once you've cleared it all, there's an extra section, which is what they call it. I know it's a little redundant. But in here, this is the extreme high-end content, where if you beat it, you get different rewards. In this case, you'd get Reno icon, you get different icons for your profiles, Airbuster, and you'd have to defeat this. So these are more high-end content. Once you clear that portion, it will say clear on the top left. And as you see clear here, the current says please wait for future updates so that I can continue. In this case, in the closed beta, we've done all there is to do. Now, Crisis Core, and then of course First Soldier. And as the compilation goes on, you have more and more. On the top right appears I'm clicking, that is your player level. As I said, Chocobo's on level 7. And that's pretty much the overview of the all the content, from pulls, tells, what you need to know for starting the game, about currency types, about ticket types, which is extremely important for you to understand ticket types, because like I said, if you're building for a specific character, those ticket types are pulls for those specific characters, right? So you want to save these up until you have 10 so that you can specifically pull for your character 10 of each. And if you go into the daily store, there's going to be specifically once a day for 200 blue crystals, which is in-game currency, or 200 red crystals. You can pay either or to buy this ticket, and you just save up 10 of them, and then you can pull specifically for that character. And then of course you're guaranteed draw, or you can do individuals as well, but it's up to you to choose that. Again, featured banner, don't forget, as we went over before, there is the selection tiles, so you can decide what you want to do to buy the style. You need to hit all 12, which is about 12 pulls. You every time you pull, that's if you get the worst roll. If you get the worst roll on Chocobo and you're only running 1 Chocobo ticket at a time, you only get 1 stamp at a time, then it's going to take you 12 pulls. If you run 3, then it's very likely that you could do like 4 pulls and get the whole entire card stamp sheet done. But you'd have to hit 3, it's random, remember, RNG on those Chocobo stamps when he runs by at the beginning of a pull. So, again, if you go into selectables, don't forget you can select from any pool of weapons specifically to manipulate that pool so that you have a high rate to pull those specific. You can only choose 5. There's 2 featured, which you cannot change there, and there's 5 that you are able to change. just so that you are aware, you can click and hold again, look over, the stats, and then you can hit base stats, see what it's like a level 90, and go through all of that as we talked about before. So that should cover everything. Of course, draw rates on the top right corner, the details of the weapons, the required crystals, the costs. This also breaks down the items in the pool, sort of just your standard gacha. The rarity rates, which I don't know if the rarity rates are higher because it's the beta, or if these rarity rates are going to change. So please do check your odds before you start pulling, because they may not be the same in the closed beta as they are in the official release. So I do want to put out a reminder for those of you who did get in, who are not familiar with gacha games, to be very aware that these rates may change. So like 7.5, like 8% is really, really good. A lot of gacha rates are really much lower towards the 5% range, some even lower than that, towards 2%. So just have an idea that is the case. But your 4 stars and then your 3 stars as well. And then it breaks it down individually through the odds as well. So just make sure that you learn how to read all of this stuff. And if you don't, we put in the comments here today what you have questions on about the game. If you have any thing you want to know about the game, please do put it on the comments. I will try to get this video up ASAP so that you have everything you need to know about the game in closed beta. And if you have any additional questions, I can try to have enough time to cover them before the beta closes at the end of the week. There are login bonuses, so they are giving us pulls. So anything you have questions on, you need to make sure to comment them before the closed beta closes, and then we don't have a way to look at that stuff before the game opens up. So yeah, that covers everything. So thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. This is the first time I think that I've been really, really excited to actually go through content creation, in the sense of my first time actually making content for you, specifically for a specific game. But Final Fantasy VII is near and dear to me. So if you like these types of videos, please like and subscribe. This is a game I will be playing and adding to my gacha lineup, and I'm over here. You can find me, of course, in the description below as to Discord, where you can find videos, how to reach me, all of that. So thank you very much. Alright, YouTube, bye bye. Enjoy the story video VODs as well. So see you then. Bye bye. Like, subscribe, comment below.